violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
New at 5, talk about trauma. More than a dozen children were just yards away from 40 rounds of gunfire. We blurred their faces in the surveillance video. A man was killed, and a local sheriff says it's a miracle none of those children were injured. Channel 2's Christian Jennings is live along Northside Drive in Griffin. Christian, this had to be so frightening for their parents.
Oh, absolutely. So many kids play out here in this complex. Now, in this video that you're about to see that was captured by that camera, you'll see most of the children run for cover, as some of them, though, stay behind and actually watch the shooting that takes place over by that building over there. One child even goes right back to playing.
Wow, man. These kids didn't even know what was going on. They didn't even know how much danger they were in.
Seconds after the shooting stops.
Children were forced to run for their lives when...
Look at this little boy, man. Look at these kids, man. They all scattered. They knew they knew the drill. They knew the drill.
One child even goes right back to playing seconds after the shooting stops.
Children were forced to run for their lives when 40 gunshots rang out at Northside Hills Apartments in Griffin, shattering the innocence of that beautiful Sunday afternoon when all these kids wanted to do was play and enjoy the sunshine. Sadly, this surveillance video shows 2 of the children staying put. Spalding County Sheriff Daryl Dix says the children watched as a man was murdered just yards away.
You have a little girl
Wow.
who goes over and gets behind a brick wall to take cover, but even with that, she's still looking at where this event took place.
Wow, man. This is jaw-dropping, heart-wrenching. This is madness. This is madness. But this is what we uphold in the community. Nobody can tell on the person who did this, who put these children in extremely dangerous situation, okay? Who jeopardized the safety of these children. We can't say anything about it.
I showed the video to Talia Robinson.
It's just crazy that it's normal. It's normal for them.
She
Look at her smiling. It's normal for them, sisters. You did this.
is a mother of 3 and is thanking God that her children were inside at the time.
I don't let my kids play outside out here.
We can't even play outside. It's a lot of stuff we can't even do in the community.
I just think it's too dangerous.
Angel Abels lives here with her 3 grandkids. She worries about their safety and the safety of other kids in her neighborhood.
That's scary too, because sometimes these kids don't even run from stuff like that. Like they used to it or something.
Sheriff Dick says 19-year-old Brandon Hawkins is charged in the February 20th murder.
Thank God this Super Gremlin was taken off the streets. Thank God.
February 20th murder. The victim was 25-year-old Charlatan Presley. He says the argument started over a girl.
What
Wow. Over a chick.
child should have any recollection when they were growing up of seeing somebody die? Now, you know, those kids' lives are going to be affected, but the life of the young man who was killed is going to be affected, and the life of the young man who shot him is going to be affected.
So many families affected by this, and the sheriff says if any of these kids are struggling who witnessed this or parents are concerned, he hopes they reach out to his office. Reporting live in Spalding County, Christian Jennings, Channel 2 Action News.
Police are looking for 5 people accused of killing a security guard. DeKalb County police say the suspects opened fire on 24-year-old Henry Ashley just before 11 o'clock Saturday night. Channel 2's Michael Seiden is live tonight in Stonecrest. Michael, the businesses are reopened, but I imagine there is still so much concern.
Yeah, Linda, concern and heartbreak right now. Police telling us this 24-year-old husband and father was just doing his job at that dealership behind me when he was gunned down.
I shouldn't be a 24-year-old widow.
Wow. Look at how these super gremlins are affecting people. And I I showed you guys the video of the water boys who actually ended up getting a job at that dealership. I don't know if it was this particular dealership, but they got a job at a dealership to wax the cars and polish the cars and whatnot to get them off the streets trying to sell water. And I showed you guys that video because I was thinking, you know, hopefully they do right. But if something were to go wrong, it would be one of these super gremlins telling somebody, hey, you know what I'm saying, it's a clean lick. We can get off with a car here and there, whatever. On some like hit a lick stuff. And now you have an instance of somebody trying to go to a car dealership where cameras are everywhere. Cameras are everywhere. And you're at a car dealership trying to rob a car dealership and shoot the security guard. These super gremlins are on demon time.
A heartbroken widow of 24-year-old Henry Ashley says she was on the phone with the love of her life when he got a call about a suspicious person on the property of the Courtesy Chrysler Dodge dealership near the mall at Stonecrest. When he arrived, DeKalb County police say the 5 suspects seen here in the surveillance image opened fire on him, shooting him in the back. He later died at the hospital Saturday night.
Shot the man in the back, man. Defenseless. This is a cold-blooded murder from a super gremlin on demon time.
I have to stay strong for my son. He lost his daddy.
I went inside the dealership hoping to speak with the manager about what happened. I also wanted to know if they had been dealing with an uptick in crime, but they declined to talk, citing the ongoing investigation.
So we're just across the street from the dealership where this murder happened. I wanted to get a better idea of what crime has been like in this area. So we're actually going to come over here. This is DeKalb's Crime Tracker website.
Over the last 180 days, we found nearly 4 dozen vehicle break-ins within a half-mile of the dealership. And
woo! 4 dozen vehicle break-ins, and then the super gremlins were like, man, F it. F it. We might as well just rob the dealership. We done robbed every other car on the block. Let's go for the dealership.
And at least 8 reported stolen vehicles from surrounding neighborhoods. We also looked at crime stats from the last 4 weeks, and although no reported crime here at the dealership, the search did reveal that over the last month, thieves broke into 6 vehicles and stole at least 2 cars parked near the dealership. Tonight, it's unclear if any of these 5 suspects were behind the previous crime, but what is clear, police say, this group is armed and dangerous.
Woo! Every single one of these super gremlins are sagging their pants. I'm telling you that right now. They got jeans tighter than spandex on, but somehow find a way to sag their drawers.
They also reached out to Compass Security Solution. That's the company that victim worked for. The company's president wrote me back in an email, writing in part saying that no comment, but as soon as this investigation is completed and they make an arrest, he'd be happy to sit down with me. We're live in DeKalb County. I'm Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Friends and family are gathering to say their final goodbyes to a beloved security guard shot and killed at a DeKalb County car dealership. 24-year-old Henry Ashley was killed last month, and today police announced the arrest of a
God damn, look at all these super gremlins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo!
Last month. And today police announced the arrest of a 16-year-old suspect.
16-year-old suspect. So we just did a video on a 14-year-old shooting up the gas station trying to rob people. Most likely a water boy. So these dudes start from water boy to armed robbery to murder. Now we got a 16-year-old. These super teen gremlins are on demon time.
Channel 2's Michael Seiden live in DeKalb County at police headquarters. Michael, police say the shooter is in custody, but they believe more people were involved.
And Linda, all day today, we've been keeping in close contact with investigators here. Again, that 16-year-old under arrest facing charges. We know they are still searching for 4 additional suspects. More on them in a moment. But this afternoon, I actually spoke with the widow of that victim. As you can imagine, she is still grieving, but she said that this brings a little relief to a family that continues to mourn the loss of this beloved man. Less than a week after family and friends gathered in Conyers for a candlelight vigil, the widow of 24-year-old Henry Ashley says her prayers have finally been answered. Now that police have arrested and charged a teenager accused of shooting and killing her beloved husband and devoted father while he was working overnight security at this Stonecrest car dealership last month.
To find out that at least they got the shooter in custody, and to find out that they got him, it felt like the whole weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I spoke with Kyla Rushton by phone Thursday as she was making those final arrangements for today's funeral.
I just want him to be remembered for being the fun, loving soul he was, for being the loving father, loving husband, and having the best spirit and attitude to any situation.
On the night of his death, Henry Ashley stayed in contact with his wife, but around 11 p.m., Ashley encountered this group of 5 people roaming the property, when all of a sudden, police say a 16-year-old boy started spraying bullets into Ashley's marked work vehicle.
Yeah. And what can you do about that, man? I mean, where are the parents? We know the daddy ain't in his life, but where is his mama? Probably working. I'm telling you, these single mother sisters cannot keep up with these kids, man. They just can't. The kids are too advanced. They're too far ahead.
He later died at the hospital.
Having to play mother and father to my son and try to keep everything as normal as possible for him. I haven't been able to sleep in my own room. Anytime I go in there, I just sit there and cry.
As the search continues for 4 additional suspects, authorities are increasing the reward to $10,000.
Do the right thing. Just if anyone knows anything, say something, speak up.
Yeah, and at this hour, it's still unclear how this 16-year-old is related to the other 4 suspects. Are they friends, family? It's also why they were there. Were they there to steal cars, break into the building? These are all unanswered questions that detectives are hoping to get to the bottom of. For now, we are live in DeKalb County. I'm Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
Developing now, DeKalb County police need your help identifying a group of men accused of killing a security guard working at a car dealership. Channel 2's Kristen Holloway is live right now in Stonecrest. And Kristen, you actually spoke to a security guard with a different company who now wants the job.
Fred, that is right. And I asked him if he was worried after what happened to the last security guard, and he told me he has a way of deterring criminals, and he's going to need it.
What? Can you please share with the class? Can you please share with the class how to deter the super gremlin? How can we deter the super gremlin and not look racist at the same time? Because whatever tactics you try and implement, it's gonna come across as racist.
Too, if you take a look at this Chrysler dealership here in Stonecrest, you can see it doesn't have a fence to secure the property.
I shouldn't be a 24-year-old widow.
Kyla Rushton is heartbroken. Her husband, Henry Ashley, was killed Saturday night at this courtesy Chrysler Dodge dealership in Stonecrest. Ashley was the security guard on duty for Compass Security. DeKalb police released this surveillance picture showing 5 men walking on the property. At some point, police say Ashley encountered the men, and his wife says he was shot in the back.
I have to stay strong for my son. He lost his daddy.
I went inside the dealership this morning and asked to speak to a manager about what happened. They declined to comment. In the meantime, Willie Kelsey, owner and security guard of enforcement, was also at the dealership today, hoping to get a new contract to secure the property during the overnight hours.
I deter people from coming to the property by the way I look and with my flashing lights.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean by the way you look? Because you're black? You think because you're black, you think these super gremlins are going to respect that? You black and you got a chain on? Because of the way I look. What? Are you what is he saying about the last security guard? What are you saying?
People from coming to the property. By the way I look and with my flashing lights, that deters people from coming to
So you're flashing lights and because you black. Don't you know these super gremlins will kill you quicker than a white man? Than a glider? Yes, 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 brother. BLM is a myth. Black Lives Matter is a myth. We don't believe that they'll lay you down just like they laid the last security guard down. Guaranteed.
To the property, and I'm constantly awoke, patrolling, so no one can get the ups on me.
I asked him if he had any concerns after what happened.
No one can get up on you. I'm gonna just tell you right now, bro, and I'm not wishing this upon you, but it can happen to anybody. And just because you think you big and you bad and you think that these super gremlins gonna be scared of you, no, they not, bro. They don't respect authority. As a matter of fact, they look down on the old heads. They look down on the old heads. They have no respect. They gonna see you flashing them lights and they gonna be like, oh, there's the target. We ain't gonna miss this time.
Happened to the last security guard.
I felt real bad for him, you know, and my heart goes out to him and his family. And I felt that I want to come out here and secure this place and stop these guys from coming on the property.
Kelsey says after talking with management, they did discuss putting up a fence.
They're going to build one. They're talking about building one in the back to stop the guys from coming through the woods.
And back here live, hopefully that fence gets built here sooner than later. If you have any information on this murder case.
Until the fence is built, he's just gonna be black and flash his lights and everything's gonna be fine, right?
Call DeKalb County Police. We're live in Stonecrest. Kristen Holloway, Channel 2 Action News.
You know, Kristen, until that happens, you just you feel for the victim's family, a small child, and hopefully they can find these guys. Thank you very much.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.